2019 is over. It has been a great year of movies. I remember when this year started with how much stuff was coming out. I was very excited for it. Got to see a majority of what I wanted to see, not everything, and I want to talk about my top 10 favorite movies of 2019. This list, by the way, is not based on which I think was a better made movie. It's just which one I enjoyed personally the most. And there was a lot of stuff, guys. There was a lot of stuff I really enjoyed. So I have some honorable mentions, ones that didn't really make the cut for the top 10, but I enjoyed overall. I thought long and hard about this list. It was not an easy list to make, but, not everything can make it in there. The ones I haven't seen yet that obviously haven't made the list because I haven't seen them, but I've heard nothing but great things about is The Lighthouse, Uncut Gems, and Jojo Rabbit. I guess I'll be watching those in 2020, so yeah, therefore they cannot make the list. The ones that I have seen but didn't make the top 10 list that I really enjoyed were The Lion King, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, although yeah, I did give it a 3 out of 5 stars. It was decent, and I thought about maybe it can make the cut, but no, there were 10 other movies that I enjoyed more than both of those, so let's start. Number 10, I'm going to go with Zombieland Double Tap. I thought this was a hilarious movie, one of the best comedies to come out this year. And honestly, like I said in my review for it, it was a great sequel comedy. I thought it was just going to be another one of those movies that they shouldn't bring back, but no, I really enjoyed Zombieland Double Tap. Good stuff. If you haven't seen it, definitely watch it. If you haven't seen it but really enjoyed the first one, you're going to love this one. Number 9, I'm going to go with Knives Out. Knives Out was very enjoyable. Sure, it had its little laggy moments, but overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great murder mystery. It was a very unique movie. It was funny, it was intense, great acting, great directing. I loved everything about Knives Out, and I would definitely go see it again. Number 8, I'm going to go with SpiderMan Far From Home. Yes, I know it's lower on my list, although I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great follow-up to Endgame, and I thought it was better than Spider-Man Homecoming. Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man we've gotten, and these are just really well put together movies, and for the first time of a Spider-Man movie of him not being in New York, it was really fun to watch. Mysterio, Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio was fucking great. Number 7, I'm going to go with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, I know in my review I wasn't thrilled with the movie. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. I recently watched it for a second time, and I actually enjoyed it a little bit more because I knew what to expect, and I actually appreciated it for what it was. The first time I saw it, I was expecting a typical Tarantino movie, which it is not. So if you haven't seen any Tarantino movies, I wouldn't start with this one. I'd work your way to this one because this is a completely different type of movie he's done. It's very laid back. It's more of a comedy. It's not all intense and action-packed like his other movies, like Django Unchained or Kill Bill. But I loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood the second time around. I actually really enjoy it. I might get the Blu-ray, and it, after seeing it, I was like, it definitely makes the top 10 list. Number 6, Toy Story 4. I love this movie. I was so happy I did. I love the Toy Story movies. I grew up with them. I wasn't even born when the first one came out, but I grew up with all of them, and honestly, for another Toy Story sequel that could have been trash, like just a money grabber, it was hilarious, and this was one that was definitely made for my generation and anyone who's grown up with the movies. Obviously, children nowadays can enjoy it too, but this definitely has more of the adult sense of humor, or more jokes like that adults will get, that the jokes that will go over kids' heads. This movie was made for us. It was made for the kids that grew up on Toy Story 1, 2, and 3. Number 5, Us. Now, this movie blew my fucking mind, and I love Jordan Peele as a director. He is the master of thriller nowadays. almost like the new M. Night Shyamalan, because M. Night Shyamalan, I think, is really dried out. He's not as good as he used to be. I loved Us more than Get Out, personally. It had more horror elements to it. It's a very twisty movie that takes different corners and different turns and kind of just twists the story around, and has an ending that kind of was obvious or was pointed out to you, but it goes over your head because you're just invested in the story if you enjoy it, and the ending just kind of catches you off guard. And I loved Us. I saw it twice in theaters. I can't wait to watch it again. When I saw it, I was like, oh, this is definitely one of my favorite movies of the year. But there are 4 more that I enjoyed a little bit more than Us. Number 4, still on the thriller section, Doctor Sleep. A sequel to The Shining that was phenomenal. I love Doctor Sleep. I thought it was a very unique style movie. I thought it was better than the other Stephen King movie that came out, It Chapter 2. I honestly, didn't care for It Chapter 2. Doctor Sleep, oh my god. There's like stuff I can't really talk about because I don't want to spoil anything for people who haven't seen it yet. Doctor Sleep, if you enjoyed The Shining, you more than likely will enjoy Doctor Sleep. It is a great follow-up. It has a lot more cool visual elements to it, and definitely is a good carry-on to Danny's story. Number 3, the worldwide phenomenon that honestly I think is one of my favorite superhero movies of all time, Avengers Endgame. I loved everything about Avengers Endgame. I love that it wasn't your traditional superhero movie because it felt more just like a drama. It was more about the characterization. It had a lot of fan service into it. It was a great wrap up to the Avengers story. The acting was great. I loved everything about Avengers Endgame. That movie definitely gets a 5 out of 5 stars in my book. I know some people enjoy Infinity War more, and I get that. That is more action-packed. It is more watchable, I guess. But I think Endgame was the perfect conclusion to that saga, and just great send-offs to some of the characters. I saw it twice in theaters, and I could watch it 10 more times. Number 2, The Irishman. This movie, another Martin Scorsese movie that kind of goes back to his old ways like Casino and Goodfellas. Although it is not as fast-paced as it, it's so enjoyable. If you enjoy Goodfellas and Casino, you may enjoy The Irishman. It is a lot slower paced, but Scorsese still has it. For a guy who's been in the industry for almost 50 years, making movies for almost 50 years, he still has it. And Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Al Pacino, these legends who have been working in the industry for like 40 plus years, can still kill a fucking role. Everything about this movie was great. I love gangster movies. They're one of my favorite genres, crime dramas, especially when it has to do with the mafia. And Martin Scorsese is the best at telling that kind of story. And he succeeds once again with The Irishman. If you have Netflix, check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Number 1. It's kind of obvious because when I reviewed it, I knew I was going to love it. I knew it was going to be perfect in my eyes. My most anticipated movie for 2019, Joker. Joker was everything I wanted it to be. I was so happy when I saw it the first time, and it made me want to go see it 12 more times in theaters. I saw it 2 more times, and it honestly is the most times I've seen a single movie in theaters. But what I love is that it has the Martin Scorsese feel to it, and it's a character breakdown. It isn't glorifying him. Honestly, you empathize with him in the beginning because it's showing you how he's been beaten down by society, and it's like, you know what, fuck this shit. Now, you don't sympathize with the actions he does towards the end, but Joker is probably the best Joker origin story we could have gotten. I think it is the best DC movie to come out since the Dark Knight trilogy. It definitely blows every DC EU movie out of the water. Shazam, Batman vs. Superman, Justice League, even Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's great, but Joker surpasses. Sorry about that. My camera cut out as I was recording. But what I was saying is that I believe that Joker is better than all the DC Extended Universe movies. This is the route that DC should stay on if they want to even compete to Marvel in the slightest. That's just my overall opinion. With bringing up Joker, you have to talk about Joaquin Phoenix and his amazing performance. This is Oscar-worthy stuff. He better get nominated next year. I'll be really upset if he doesn't, and even doesn't win if he does get nominated. And just for a movie about a guy who doesn't even have a backstory was truly incredible. And my favorite fictional character of all time got the movie he deserves and the style it deserves, and that is why Joker is my favorite movie of 2019. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment below of what your favorite movies were this year, and I hope everyone has a safe and happy New Year's. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.